Well, very good morning, guys. Okay. So last day we just been talking about identity framework, right? So we just been installed identity framework on a system. After installing identity framework, what are the steps we have done? The first step is to install the identity framework. The second step is to your data context class should inherit from identity data context. Basically, it inherits from DB data context. DB context, we should change it to identity DB context. Okay, that is the second thing what we have just done. And next, the third step, in the program class, we have just registered the identity framework service. We have registered the identity framework service by calling add identity. We just call the add identity. Then we define the account controller. We have written, we have just used dependency injection here to inject two classes. What are the two? User manager, sign in manager. When you want to create a user, then user manager comes into action. When you want to perform a login or a sign in operation, then sign in manager class comes into action. So these are the two things what we just have, and these particular user manager and sign in manager are the classes what will be helping for you in performing all the database CRUD operations. All the database CRUD operations, we can just do it. Okay, and the next thing what we done is we created two model cells, model classes. One is login model, one is user model. Then the next thing is in the package manager console, we created a new what is that? Forgot the name. We just also created a new migration. Sorry, we created a new migration. A new migration has been created. We updated, and all the required tables, everything is ready. We just designed the registration form also. So this is where we stopped in the last class. For that, we designed the registration form. Now the user, what will the user do? The user will fill in the details and click on the register button. When the user clicks on the register button, what should happen? It has to connect to the server and perform the registration operation. It has to connect it to the server and perform the registration operation. Are you clear? Yes or not? So we just do a registration operation. So how do we complete this one? You require to write a post action method now. You require to write a post action method. So we have written a get action method. Same as that, we're just going to now write a post action method in this case now. Okay, so let us try writing up the post action method in our code. Let us try writing up the post action method in our code. How to write the post action method? So if at all you're just planning to write the post action method, remember this point. What is that? See, when you just go for writing a post action. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I given you step-by-step process, like what exactly you just require to do. You see how? Is about handling the errors. Yeah, you see. First, install Microsoft.ASP.NET Code.Identity.MVC framework core. Second step, your MVC code DB context should inherit from identity DB context. Third step, the third step is going to be you just require to go for change. Sorry, what the third step? The third step is you require to call on model creating. I said you remember we are overriding the on model creating. So in this place, we also want to call the parent class on model creating method. We called it. Fourth step, identity framework registered. Fifth step, we have just enabled use authentication pipeline. The first one is the service. Second one is service configuration. Second one is pipeline configuration. So in the pipeline, we're telling we want to use authentication. We just wanted to use the authentication. And the sixth step is going to be adding a migration. We just require to add a migration. And then the seventh step, update your database so that the migration is applied. Eighth step, We just created the model classes. What are model classes? You're the model class, and the second one is the login model class. You're the model class and the login model class. These two model classes are ready. What left out? Then we just went to the controller, and in the controller, guys, we just defined our controller. In the controller, we just defined our controller here. Okay, so this is exactly where we have just been stopped up in the last class. So one thing pending for us now, let us run the view. Okay, coded controller, guys. Account controller, register, register, yes, launched. When I call register, it is launching the view now. So now I can fill in my details, name, password, confirm password, and all the things. When I click on the register, all the annotations are working. All the annotations are working. The name field is required, password field is required, confirm password field is required, email ID field is required, mobile field is required. All are required fields. We just required to fill in all the details now. Okay now? So when all the details are filled, suppose I'm filling up all the details. All the details are filled. Okay, mobile number is invalid because there's a validation for that. Okay, now it is valid. Now click on the register, and when you click on the register, the page submits to the server. We don't have a post action method yet. That's why you're not getting anything here. We don't have a post action method. Let me write the post action method. Okay, now? So we'll write the post action method. Come on. HTTP post public. Guys, listen here. All the methods we are going to write here are asynchronous methods. What is it asynchronous? In TPL, I explained to you async and await. When you learned about TPL in your C# classes, multi-threading and the extension for multi-threading, about it is a TPL task parallelism. In the task parallelism, I explained about async and await methods. So what are the async and await methods? Basically, these async and await methods are used like a single thread performing multiple actions. A single thread performing, generally multi-threading means we create multiple threads to do, but in 4.0, it's a new concept that has been introduced called as async and await. I given you an example also in that. I shown you a Windows programming to you. One button, when I click it will just try to perform a calculation from 1 to 1 lakh. Second button, say hello. When I click on the 1 to 1 lakh calculation, you remember it takes a lot of time. Until then, your UI becomes unresponsive. Your UI becomes unresponsive. To overcome this, we just used something called async and await. Let me show you that once you have just done that coding. E drive C# 11 TPL project Windows. Yeah, this is what we have just been learned. So what is this? Basically, here we created a task here. We have created a task here. The general coding will be like this. What? T dot start int result is equals to T dot result. So first we create a task targeting a method. What method? Get length. Targeting the method called as get length. After that, what do you say? T dot start. So the task will be started. After starting it, then after starting it, we'll get the result. The result has to come here. The result has to come here now. Yeah, this is what. When I click on the say hello, it shows a message. Hello, how are you? How many times you click on this, it will show you. When you click on the get length, it is going to call a method. What is the method? Get length. So what this method will do, the method will concatenate from 1 to 1 lakh and show the result. And this is going to be a big calculation, a time-taking process. Because it is going to be time-taking process, see right now, I'm able to move my form how I want. I'm able to click on the say hello, everything is working. But if I click on the call get length, when I click on the, just a minute. Oh, sorry guys, the mistake is not that. Already we call start new. Start new will start off the task automatically. So yeah, when you click on this call get length, what happens? It is going to do the calculation. Until the calculation is completed, my screen becomes non-responsive. See, it is not moving. I am not able to click on that. It is a time-taking work. It is a time-taking work. Until that work is completed, your UI becomes non-responsive. Your UI becomes non-responsive. It is not going to respond. See, now it is completed, then only the operations will take place. And to resolve this particular problem, what did I say? We just require to use async and await. So this is here we use async first, and afterwards we just require to use await here. Await, wait. We need to call async and await. When you call async and await, what happens? See now, my screen is responsive. I'm able to click on say hello. I'm clicking on get length, then also my screen will be responsive. It is doing the background work now. It is doing a work in the background. Even when I explained about calling an API from an MVC application, on that day also we used async and await. On that day also we just gone for using async and await methods. So what did I say? Sorry, wait for the task to complete in the background. It is going to wait for this. So here also the same thing happens. When you call async and await, this will be in the background. This work will be doing in the background. And it allows all the other things to work now. Once it is ready, it will pull the control back. Once it is ready, it will pull the control back. Async is a marker to tell, I want to run this method in an asynchronous model. Asynchronous means multiple works at a time. Await is a marker to tell, I'm doing the work in the background. Now I'm ready to do the rest of the things. See, what is the next work? The next work is to show the message box. So I'm ready now. So give me the control back. Give me the control back. When you say control back, automatically control comes to you back again by calling the await. So async and await. These are the two things that are introduced in .NET 4.0 with a concept called as a task parallelism. So here also we just use async and awaits here. I'll tell you. Generally, how do you write a method? Public I action result register. Okay, and what is the model? User model. The model is user model. Now all the values comes to user model, right? What next? If you remember this one, model state dot is valid. What is that? If all the data validations are successful. If all the data validations are successful. If model state dot is valid means all the data validations are successful. If validations are successful, save the data to database here. If validations are not successful, what will you do? You display a message. What is that? The validations failed. Am I correct? You just simply display a message telling that the validations are going to be failed in this particular case. Okay. So what to do? Simply if the validations are not successful, return what? View. Which view? Same view will launch. For this view, I am passing the model object. So what will happen? It will show you all the messages on screen now. It will show you all the messages on screen. No, validations are successful. If validations are successful, what you require to do, you just require to go for using, take the instance of a class. What is the class? Identity user. What is identity user? Last class I said you one point. A user model is a class what we are creating for designing the views. But when we deal with the database, we don't use user model. We have predefined model classes. Remember one day I explained this architecture for you called as MVVM architecture. For view creation, I used one class. But when I'm inserting in the table, I used another class. For view creation, what is that? We created same, I think. One is a user model class and one is the login model class. Authentication when I explained. But when I inserted in the tables, I used a class called users class. Users is the representing the table. Users represents the table. Same way, this is the class what I created for creating a model, that's all. Okay? Because I want only these attributes. But the actual class that works with the database is identity user. So right click on this and say go to definition. If you say go to definition here, it will show you the class here and basically just a minute, go to definition. And here you will be having up all the attributes of a user. What is that? Username, ID, still normalized username, email, normalized email, email confirmed, password hash, security stamp, concurrency stamp, phone number confirmed, two-factor enabled, lockout and lockout enabled, access fail count. You see a lot of attributes are there. I don't want all these attributes here. I don't want all these attributes. What I want only username, password, email ID, phone number. That is the reason why I am not using this class for model binding. If I use this class for model binding, all controls will come up now. I don't want. I want to make it simple. So what I want is only 5 attributes what we have just taken in the user model class. What are the 5? Name, password, confirm password, email, mobile. Understood? And one more thing also. On that day also I explained you this one. Identity model class doesn't have confirm password. Because identity model doesn't have confirm password, when I'm creating the UI, confirm password text box will not come now. Got the point? For that reason, we are creating our own model class called as user model for UI designing. But finally, when we are inserting the record into the table, the class I should use is identity user. I should use identity user. Identity user is equals to new identity user. Now, only initialize the attributes you want. I want the attribute username. Username is equals to user model dot name. The first attribute name. Second one password. Second one is the password. Okay, I'll deal with the password. Email. I'll tell you your password also. Email is equals to user model dot email. And phone, the other one is phone number. Phone number is equals to user model dot phone. User model dot phone, mobile. User model dot mobile. So we just created with all the 3 attributes. Okay now? And now the class is created. After creating this class, after creating this particular class, all of you observe this one. User manager. I already said you this is a class that deals with user management. In this user manager class, there is a method called as create async. Remember, this is an asynchronous method. This is a asynchronous method. Create async means it is going to do the work in the background. Create async is a method what we just have. User manager dot create async, and it takes 2 parameters here. What are the 2 parameters? The first parameter is identity user. And the second parameter is password. The second parameter is password. See? That's why I did not give the password there. I should give the password here. How to give? User model dot password. So basically all of you carefully listen to me. When I create a new, see, when you are going to perform an insert operation, what are you doing? Suppose you are working with customer table. What are you doing? First you are creating a customer instance and afterwards you are adding it to the table now. But right now we are getting the instance of a identity user, and luckily this identity user is a predefined class. I did not define it. And there's a method now. What the method? Create. This is going to create a new user. Read. Louder. In the backing store with given as a asynchronous operation. Remember, it is an async method. It performs a asynchronous operation. What is the return type? Task. The return type is a task now. Okay. So without again creating task and all, simply you can say where result is equals to. You can call where result is equals to. And remember guys, because this is an asynchronous method, I require to use await while calling this. I require to use await while calling this. And when I use await here, it is giving an error. Why is it giving an error? You're using await here, fine. But your method is not async method. Your method is not async method. So what should I write? Public async task of I action result. This is how I should write. Public async task of I action result. So that is an asynchronous method. So we require to call await. But when we use await here, it will tell you, you're using await on the asynchronous method, fine. But your method is not asynchronous method. So first make your method also asynchronous. How to make async? And then task of I action result. So this action guys will be creating a new user account in the database. Means a record is inserted into the database table with all these values. Okay, I'll show you the table. In the identity user, you saw so many columns now. Right, so many attributes now. All columns will be in the table. All those columns will be in the table. I'll show you. Last class, someone asked about, sir, password encryption. Yes, that is done. That is done. Yes, password encryption is done. It will do password encryption also for you. You don't require to write any logic for that. So now your password is not in a normal format. Your password is in a, it is in a encrypted format. Your password will be an encrypted format. We'll show you all the things. Okay. So fine. Now, is this operation success or failure? I need to check it out. If all of you watch it, result dot, that will tell you success or failure. Succeeded. Succeeded means success or failure. It's a success. If it is a success, I'll do one thing here. I will log in the user into the application now. I will log in the user into the application. How do you log in? To log in, you're required to take the help of the second class what we have loaded using what we have just been loaded up. One is what, like user manager. Second one, sign in manager. You're required to take the help of that particular class now. Sign in manager dot, again the same story. Sign in async. All methods are async methods. But if it is async, it is compulsory required to call await. Sign in async. What are you passing? You're required to pass the user details now. Where are the user details? Identity user dot identity user. Pass the identity user. Pass the identity user. There is another parameter, guys. Two parameters. What is it? You want to perform a stay signed in. You want to perform a stay signed in. Generally, a login form will have a checkbox. When you select the checkbox, stay signed in option enables. Now they're asking, do you want to stay signed in? No. Why? Because the user did not come from a login page and did not select the stay signed in checkbox. I don't know whether you want to stay signed in or not. I cannot take it granted. Next time when he comes from login, he will select that option. But now, true indicates stay signed in. True indicates stay signed in. So what I say is false. So simply call this method. What method? Sign in manager dot sign in async. So it is just going to perform a login operation. Once the login is done, return. Return what? Redirect to action. I'm redirecting to the action method. Which action method? Index action method of home controller. Index action method of home controller. Else. Else means success or failure. Louder. Else is a failure. So what I'm doing here, multiple errors can be present. What are the errors? I don't know. Na? So for that reason, I'm writing for each where error in error in result dot errors. What is the result dot errors? It's an enumerable of identity error. All the errors will come to you now. All the errors will become. How many errors are there? I don't know. Multiple error. That's why you used a for each loop here. So every error I'm going to pick now, and I'm going to display on the top of your form. How's that? Already we have a validation summary control on the top of the screen. Do you remember? And if at all you want to send any message to it, model state dot add model error. Model state dot add model error and give error dot description. So the model state dot add model error will show you the error messages in this now. Where? Under the validation summary, it is going to show you the error message in the validation summary. Here, all the error messages are going to be published. And to send the messages there, what you should call? Add model error. First parameter is the title here. I don't want any title. Okay, directly error dot description. The description. So multiple errors can be present. All the error messages will be populated or propagated to you here. So this is how you are going to perform a register operation. I'm again telling you first, to work with identity framework, you're required to take the help of two classes. One is user manager, second one sign in manager. So these two classes should be injected into your code by using dependency injection. I've done it already in the constructor. Second, you want to register a user. To register a user, we need a view. We created the view. For creating a view, because we are using MVC, we need a model class. And we created our own model class. What is the model class? What are the attributes? Name, password, confirm password, email, phone number. That's all. These are the attributes I taken for registration. Okay, we created the. Now when the user registers, all the values comes into this method, post method. Now I need to send it to the database. To send it to the database, remember, user model is not in the database at all. User model is my own class. So if you want to work with the database, what is the class you require to take the help? Identity user. This identity user class has a lot of attributes. I don't want all the things. I want only few. So create the instance of the identity user and pass on the attributes what you wanted. I want what? Name. I want password, email, and mobile number. Okay. So create the identity user. After creating the identity user instance, in the class there is a method. What is the method? Create async. This method will immediately insert a record into the table. This is going to insert the record and returns you the result. Success or failure. If it is success, what I am doing? I am signing into the application now. Sir, no need any coding. That's what the beauty of identity framework. I automatically sign into application, sign in async. Once you call sign in, automatically it will sign in into the application and redirect you to index home. Redirects you to the index home. No. This operation just got errors in that. Then what will happen? What will happen? It is just going to take you to the errors and show you all the error messages to you. Okay. So run the application. Say user manager. Class provides option for managing users in a persistent store. Identity user. Class represents a user in the identity system. Sign in manager. Class provides option for user sign in. For the user sign in. First one is managing the users and second one is for the sign in of the users. Are you clearer or not? Okay, now you added a registration view. You added a registration view. It's running, guys. It should. Customer, what is that? Account register. Okay. So I am giving a name now. I'm just giving a name. So some name is what I'm just giving. Raju. Something here I'm writing @1234. I'm just going to write Raju @1234. And here I want to give a password. Raju @1024. Raju @1025. Validations in action. All the validations in action. Are you clearer? So giving a correct password. Email ID. Entering a proper email ID. Entering a proper email ID now. Okay, and mobile number is invalid because the mobile number should start with 9. Are you clear? Okay, so like this, I'm just going to enter up the details and click on the register button. And now if all the details are correct, the user registration should be done and you should be logging into the index action. See, you came here. Why? The registration is done now. Are you clear? Now go and verify in the database. No, we cannot call because all the methods are async and await. You cannot use identity without async and await because all the methods are asynchronous. It is compulsory. You're required to call async and await. So here, come to MVC code DB tables, and in the tables, guys, we'll have a table called as Asp Net users table. Asp Net users table, and your record should be present in the Asp Net users table. It has created a user account. For every user, one ID is assigned. And his ID is a GUIDC. How is it generated? In SQL Server, did your teacher teach you? There is a function called new ID that will generate you unique ID. It will call the function and it will generate this one. Second one, username. Normalized username. What is normalized username? Normalized username is nothing here. It will convert the whole value into uppercase and store. That's called normalized. Again, email. Again, normalized email. All these are automatic. Email confirmed. No, the email is not confirmed. This is a false. We need to do this confirmation. This is wrong good. We need to confirm. I'll confirm. Password. See, encrypted format. Password is in encrypted format. Okay, we have the password in the encrypted format in your tables. Still, it is going to have some security stamps and all the things here. And here I have the phone number. And also it has phone number confirmed, though phone number is also not confirmed. Two-factor authentication is available. In Google, you have no two-factor authentication. Is a two-factor authentication enabled? All these options will be coming into action. Okay, so the user account got created in the database. Are you clear? Okay, now just watch it, all of you. Say, when we want to create a new user account, a set of rules are predefined on username and password. Some rules are defined here, where they are defined under two classes. One is user options class, second one is password options class. User options class defines option for user validation, and in this class there is a property allowed username characters. What characters are allowed in the username? Which contains a list of allowed characters for the username, and in this the code is as following. All of you watch it. There is a property. What is the property? Allowed username characters. Are you clearer or not? See there. These are the allowed characters. Uppercase, lowercase, hyphen, decimal, underscore, @ plus. I used @ now, correct? That is the allowed character. That is a allowed character. All these are the validations what we have. Same way, guys, you have password options also. There is a class called password options. See the password rules. Minimum length 6. Required unique characters. At least one unique character should be present. At least one unique character should be present. Next. Do you require non-alphanumeric values? Non-alphanumeric. @ is what I used. Yes. Do you require lowercase characters? Yes. Do you require uppercase characters? Yes. Do you require digits? Yes. And I used all the combinations here. Remember, Raju R capital AJU at the rate 1024 is what I just given. Are you clearer? Okay, just a second. In the name, guys, in the name, I'm just entering Bangar Raju. Okay. And here, I wanted to use some characters which are not supported. I want to use a character which is not supported. Dollar is not supported, guys. Dollar is not supported. So simply I'm writing $1234. It's invalid character. Okay. And here I'm writing Raju 1024. Raju 1024. See, I did not use any special characters. Clear? Next, email ID. Email ID has the built-in rules. We don't require to define the rules for the email ID. And see, if you give email ID wrong, it'll tell you the email ID is not a valid email address. Okay, giving a proper value and a mobile number, invalid mobile number. These are all client-side validations only. But see, the username is correct, password, that is server-side validation again. So now when you click on the register button, all of you, it is telling you, you should have at least one non-alphanumeric character. Okay, so I'm writing Raju at the rate 1024. Raju at the rate 1024. And when I click on the register button, not allowing. At the rate is allowed earlier. Now, dollar is not allowed. Invalid. All the rules are predefined here. You'll have a doubt. Sir, can I change those rules? Yes, you can. I can change those rules. Want to change the rules? Yes. What rules you want to change? I want to make the minimum password length as 6 characters. I want to make the minimum password length as 8 characters. Sorry, 6 is there now. I want to make it as 8. Minimum length of a password should be 8 characters, not 6 characters. I can change the rule now. Are you getting my point or not? Okay, see, suppose here I am just trying to give Raju at the rate 1. That is valid, guys. Raju at the rate 1 is valid. Are you clearer or not? Raju at the rate 1 is going to be a valid value. Okay, so now again, I'm giving Raju at the rate 1. That's a valid value. When I click on register, okay, this name problem, delete it. And here, just to see, Raju at the rate 1. Raju at the rate 1. It's valid. The registration will be success now. And you go to the database table and verify the new record is inserted. Inserted. 2 records are there. Okay, I'm deleting from here. That is secondary. But inserted, insert operation is success. Okay, I'll delete that row. Retry the same thing. Okay, now? Fine. Now, what I want is, I want the password to be minimum 8 characters of length here. The password, I want it to be minimum 8 characters of length. Okay, you can define that on your own. How you can define? If at all you just wanted to define the rules. If at all you just wanted to define the rules, you're required to do that in the program class. You're required to do that in the program class. How do you do it in the program class? Look here. All of you here, have a look on this. You call the add identity method here, na? Or you call the add identity method here. Correct? Huh? So this add identity method when you're calling. So here, add identity, identity user, identity role is what we have just used. Identity user and identity role is what we have just used. So here, we need to pass a parameter. It's a parameterized method. Add identity is a parameterized method. We have an option called options. We have an option called as options. Okay, in this we can say options dot. It provides option for managing the password. See, options dot deal with user. Options dot deal with password. Password dot required length. Required length is equals to 8. Are you clear? Same one more rule I want to define. Options dot password dot require digit is equals to false. Digits are not mandatory. Now I'm just saying digits are not mandatory. Like this, you can define the rules for it. Understood or not? If at all you want to define the rules for username also, you can define your own rules to username also. Okay. So like this, you can just go for defining the rules, whatever you want. Now after defining the rules, wow, watch, 6-character passwords are not allowed. Understood my point? 6-character passwords are not allowed. I see a small mistake in my code, not error, mistake in my code. When I say add model error, what is it doing is it is overriding. Means multiple errors are there. It's not showing all the errors. What is it showing is only one error. What is it showing is only one error. Okay, just a second. I'll do one thing. I'll declare a string here. String str is equals to empty string. I will concatenate all the errors. I will concatenate all the errors. What? Str plus equals to error dot description. Okay, after doing all the concatenation, finally out of this loop, I will directly say, simply I'll say error string. Some name here just to be much more user friendly. Did you understand what I'm doing? I'm concatenating all and finally going to show you error dot description in this case. Okay, so multiple errors will be shown at a time. So that's a mistake in my code. Let me check it out. Because earlier, 2 errors are there here. Username also has error, password also. What happened? Username error is not shown. Password error came directly. It has overridden. After fixing the password, only username error shown. So both should be shown at a time. See now. Bangar Raju $1234 is wrong. Same way, password I'm giving Raju @12. Means only 7 character now. Raju @12. Give an email ID m dot. Okay. Giving an email ID and a password. Click on register. Password must be at least 8 characters. I should not concatenating the values. Just a second. @12. @12. The password is not matching. Raju @12. Getting only one error. Password must be at least. All errors should come now. Password too short. Why not giving both the errors at a time? It's not returning. It is returning only one error. Raju @1024. Raju @1024. No, yeah, the problem is from there only. So we can't do anything. It is giving only one. Invalid username, description is. No, it's not our mistake. It is the code mistake on it. So no need all these things. Okay, whatever it is. It's not showing. I can't do anything because it's not returning multiple errors. What it's returning is only one error at a time. Returning only one error at a time. If that is the case, there's no point of writing all these things. Directly we can use our old code only. Error dot description. I know your username is wrong. Okay, but see, your validations came now. Password should be 8 characters of length. Not accepting you, less than 8 characters password there. So you can define your own rules. Understood how to define the rules? I given everything in detail for you. User options class, password options class. If at all you want to change, how to change. If you're working in ASP.NET Core 5.0, this is how you should change. If you're working on ASP.NET Core 6.0, this is how you should change. Are you clearer or not? Okay, the next one is login. I want to log in now. I just want a login now. So let us implement a login also. A login view also, let us create it now. So we're done with register. So next option is to perform a login. In the database here, I'm deleting both the records. There is no registered user now. There is no registered user. I deleted off. Watch carefully, all of you. Public I action result login. Okay. Return view. So launch the view. Nothing more than this. For a login, what you will do here? Nothing more than this now. Understood? Next one. HTTP post. Again, same story. Public, async, all these methods will be same. Async, task of, I action result, login. And guys, what is your model? Hey, not sign in, login model. One is user model, one is login model. So what you should pass? Login model is what you're passing. Now in this, you just required to write the code for performing the login action. Okay, again, same guys, what here also. If model state dot is valid, do all these actions. Otherwise, return view what? Say, did you understand what is this one? When the validation failed, the same view is coming back again here. That only no, you saw password wrong. Same view came back, showing the messages on the screen. So return view, login model. Return view, login model. Okay. Watch next. If model state is valid, it means if the user, if the valid values are correctly given. The values are correctly given. What to do? I just require to check whether the user is a valid user or not. Whether the user is a valid user or not. How do you check? Watch. Again, who will help you? Sign in manager dot. That is a method. Password sign in async. What this method will do? This method will verify whether the user is a valid user or not. What it verifies? Whether the user is a valid user. What should I pass? 3 parameters for it. First parameter, login model dot name. What is the name of the user? Second parameter, login model dot password. Login model dot password. Okay, third parameter. What is it? Is persistent. Means whether you want a stay signed in or not. Then the stay signed is depend on the checkbox user selects now. Yes or not. So login model dot. We defined a property, remember? Remember me. There is one more property, one more parameter here. What does the parameter say? If the user gives a wrong password, shall I lock it? They're asking you. No, don't lock it. Array. Don't lock it. False. Are you clear? So what are the parameters you're passing? See? Name, password, remember me, lockout. Do you want to lock out? If I say true, the account locks. Next time you cannot log in now. So what I'm passing is false. Okay, because again you called async method. What you should say? Avoid. Okay, you're required to call avoid. And see, If this operation is successful, what you get is a result. What you get is a result. Now tell me, if result dot succeeded, if the result dot succeeded means if the user is valid user, what to do? Take him to index page here. Take him to index page now. If the user is valid user, take him to index page. What to do? Return, redirect to action. Redirect to action what? Index, comma, home. Okay, else means success or failure. Failure. If it is a failure, model state dot add model error. Some title, and here you just write invalid login credentials. Invalid login credentials are supplied by you, so you cannot do a login now. So this is my login method. What next? Add a view. Add a view. How to add? Right click. Add view. What option to select? I said you. Raster view, not raster view empty. Raster view. Add. Next. Template. Create template. Model class. Login model. And don't select the context. We don't have a context related here. Click on the add button. You will be doing some minor changes, guys. That's important. You just require to make up your changes. After registering, if you want not to stay login, don't log in. I called a login method there. After registering, if you don't want to log in, I called a login method there. Yeah, don't call. See, after the registration is completed, remember all of you, I called sign in. Don't call this. If you don't call this, you won't sign in. Again, it will redirect him to login page here. What do you write? Account, login. It will redirect you to login page now. Are you getting my point or not? Where will it redirect? Login page. Now we'll come to login page. Yeah. We're done now. Okay. We're done. Just a minute. Some few changes. 2 times login model. Create of this. Directly say login view. Just like yesterday we said register view. Now it is a login view. Fine. Come down. Submit is there. Reset is not there. Let's add a reset. Input type is equals to reset. Call reset. And also I say this is unnecessary. This is unnecessary link here. Back to list. I don't want. That's what. See once. What do you feel unnecessary? Delete off. Okay. Now run the login. Now the login doesn't work because I deleted all the users. But I deleted all the users. No user account is there. First we need to go for register actually. Shall we? Account register. First I'm doing a registration, a fresh registration with a password, user details and all. I'm giving. Actually, space is also not allowed here. Why? The allowed character doesn't have spaces there. So that's why I'm writing dot something. Dot or @ anything is allowed. I'm using dot. And come to password. Raju @1024. Raju @1024. Enter your email ID. Enter your all valid values. Click on the register. It will register and takes you to index page. Now the registration is done. Come back here and re-verify. The new user account is created. Okay, now the new user account is created and it is coming. You want to go for a login? Account, login. Yeah. So giving the name bangarraju.madhula and giving Raju@123. Password is wrong. Oh, I should change this. This is all I said. You open it and make all the changes, not create. It should be login. We'll change it. We'll correct it. No issues for the time being. Invalid login credentials. I'm just giving a proper correct login credentials. Raju@1024. Login operation success. Just correct it. Where to correct? Here. Login. Where it is a login. So we completed the 2 actions here. Step 10. What is step 10? Implementing login action. 2 methods. All post methods will be same style. What? Public, async, task, I action result. Don't forget it. All post methods will follow the same signature from now onwards. Okay. See, adding a view and all the things. Providing login, register and logout links. Actually, this is not looking good here. What not looking good? What is it, guys? You're opening the application, index page is opening. User want to do a login. If you ever want to do a login, will the user go and enter the address bar? You need to provide the options for the user, na? So what am I expecting, Watch it carefully. What am I expecting? By default, when you open this, when you just guys open this one, here, login register button should come on the top. On the left hand side, you're showing home and privacy. On the right hand side, it will show you login register. If the user is already logged in, what should come, Name of the user and logout should come. Did you understand me? What should come? Name of the user and logout. If the user is already logged in, if the user is not logged in, log in and register. If the user is logged in, if you are logged in, all the applications, you will see the name of the user, logout options. Where? On the right hand side of my screen. And here guys, by default, you have 3 links here. Remember this one? Home, privacy, take to privacy page, home page. When you click on this also will take to same page. Even I explained in MVC5 also. These 2 links are going to be same only, but unnecessary 2 links, delete one. Why I don't require this here. Home link is enough. Home also will do the same thing only. This project name also will do the same thing only. By default, these 2 links are same. So delete this. Reduce the space on screen, guys. Just delete this link. Okay. So where to change? Layout. This is a layout. Layout pages, So open. Views folder. Go to the layout page. This is the layout. You already know designing layouts and all. We just worked on it. Okay. Fine. What is showing on the first? Find out where is it. Yeah. See that? Delete off this link. Now you should not get that. What you should get is only home and privacy. Home and privacy. So that is the first thing you just do. Privacy, home. Okay, now? So fine. What next? The next thing what you just require to do is, on the right side, I just wanted to show you the 2 options, the 2 links. All of you observe the layout carefully. Observe the layout carefully. The layout, you see here, there is a div tag. There is a div tag, and this particular div tag is going to show you the information here. The div tag is going to show you the appropriate information. The 2 links are there. Now again, we want one more div tag here. I'm just copying this as it is and pasting it here. One more div tag. Okay, when I add one more div tag, same links only I added, just I copy pasted the div as it is. I copy pasted, one more div tag is coming. See, it has a 2 div tags now. Divided into 2 parts here. This one part, this one part. Like 2 columns. In the first part, it is showing you home previous second part, but I want this in the right side. I want these options on the right side. I think some bootstrap class I use will be there. We can just use that bootstrap class there. That's all. Div tag with an privacy view UI and one more list item to existing and to. I want to the OEL. Okay, I did not use another div tag. Sorry. It's bootstrap here. It's all about designing. No, don't use another div tag. Just a second. You have unordered list here now. Copy this one. Paste it. Copy this, paste it. Now you will be getting up one more unordered list. You will be getting up one more unordered list there. Don't bother more about this designing and all here. To design in your offices, there will be a designer. Focus only on the code. So how to put it left side. If you're interested on UI, learn it. But otherwise, don't focus much on this because there will be a designers who are going to do. Coding will be done by you. Finally, the page given to designer does all the designing work. Okay. So this is coming here, but you want it on the right side. If you want this on the right side, see, this was using a class, a bootstrap class. What is it? Navbar, nav plus grow. Correct? Navbar, nav plus grow. Remove this plus grow here and you just have a bootstrap class called ML-auto. ML-auto. That's a bootstrap class, guys. Is that clear? Just the unordered list class I changed, that's all. But not open privacy. What we want? What you're expecting? Login and register. Okay, watch carefully. These are the navbars. What you are using? You see, what is the controller? Account. What is the action method? Register. What is the text? Register. Here, login. Here also, login. Here also, account. Here also, account. I'm also not such good in designing. Design code, I generally copy paste of all things. That's not a big deal. You should be your developer, be strong in programming. First point, object-oriented programming. That's the crucial thing. Okay, register login. Login will take you to login page. Now see, now I don't require to go to address bar and do all these things now. Are you clear? Okay. Suppose if I click on login, I am just giving the login credentials here. Raju@1024. Correct valid username. When I click on the login now, this should change up here. What should change? Array should come, the username should come here and logout should come. What is coming? Instant login. But how do I know whether the user is logged in or not? How do I know the user is going to be logged in or not? I don't know that. The user logged in, user did not log in. I don't know that. Are you clear or not? So I want to just find out whether the user is logged in or not. So if that is the case, guys, you just require to take the help of the sign-in manager here to find out whether the user is signed in or not. Okay. So you need a sign-in manager class here now. You need a sign-in manager class. If you want the sign-in manager, again, into the controller, we have just used the dependency injection to send the sign-in manager now. Here also same process. @ inject. @ inject. What to inject? Sign-in manager is what I need to import. But error coming here because the corresponding namespace has not been imported. So what you'll do? Open view imports.cshtml and perform an import here. @ using Microsoft dot ASP.NET Core dot identity. Microsoft dot ASP.NET Core dot identity. Now come here and here, guys, sign in manager. Sign in manager. Are you clear? You're injecting the sign in manager. Sign in manager takes a parameter. Na? What is that? Identity user. Identity user. Identity user. Okay, some name for it. Some name. What is that? Sign in manager. Any name, guys. What is this name? Array in the controller also. Remember, you're giving that name. You're the manager, sign in manager, sign in manager. The name is a variable. What you're going to use in the code now. Understood? Huh? So this is what you're required to do. Now, here you can do a small verification. What verification? What verification? If the user is already logged in, I will show, sorry, the user is not logged in, I'll show register login. If the user is logged in, I'll show name of the user and this one. Okay. Okay. Verify this one. Just all of you verify this one. Under this unordered list, under unordered list only now, under this unordered list, I'm writing what? @if. What is the class? Sorry, what is the object name? Sign in manager dot is signed in. Sign in manager dot is signed in. What am I passing? User. I'm passing the user. Okay. So if the user is signed in, if the user is signed in, did you understand this? If the user is signed in, here you should write else. Else is clear. Else means login and register. Signed in. If the user is signed in, what to do? You need to show the name and this one. Okay. How to show that? Say to show that options, to show that particular options, I'm again using the two li items. I'll change it. That's all. The two li items. Carefully watch. What do you want? Logout. For logout, you need to write one action method. When you click on logout, it should be logged out. And I'm writing the action method name. What is the action method name? Logout. We did not write still, guys. We'll get error now. Now come to here. What should come here? What should come here? What are you expecting? I'm just only expecting the user name to be shown here. Okay. @user dot identity dot. I'll show you that. And this should not be in a hyperlink. What? Yes, yeah, this should not be in a hyperlink. Why? Why, yeah, username want a hyperlink. If you click, where will you take? Nothing now. Only show the name there. That's all. Should not be in a hyperlink. So use the class, but remove all these attributes. What attributes? Remove all those attributes here. That's all. It's also just like a anchor tag, but non-clickable. You cannot click on this. You cannot click on that now. @user.identity.name will show you the thing. Means impression will be like a link only, blue color, it will show you, but non-clickable. It won't be clickable because we removed all the attributes that are required there now. See, just click on login. Giving a correct password, Raju@1024. Login. When you go here, see, it's not turning to hand symbol, but here turning. Why? Because you have all the attributes here and we don't have any attributes. But to design, I use the same concept. Just to remove what? Action name, controller name attributes are removed. Just simply what we have is the name and logout. Are you clear? One more thing also we'll do. What? Here, show the customers link. Customers link. Customers should show you the customers option there. Show the customers link. Where? Yeah. Add one more link. Controller. customer controller, action method, display customers, okay. And here some text I given, manage customers. What did I give? I just given only customers, that's all. Customers. Run. And you see now. Yeah, you can just see now. And once you just see customers link is coming. When you click on customers, opening, I'm able to do an add customer. I'm able to do an edit customer. But all these are wrong now. What wrong? Why you ask for the login? Nothing implementation is done still. You need all the implementation. Understood my point or not? Okay. So what is that here? After login, a different page. Watch any real-time application. After you log in also, you'll stay on the same page only. What you're thinking is wrong. If you want, you do something what you want. But in the real-time applications also, when you open the login, when you open the home page, after login also, you'll be on home page only. You will not go to somewhere. Where you want to go, you should click. If you are feeling confusion, you change your code. But don't say that should be like all. The original way is such only, I written correctly only. If you want to change, you change it. Okay. So what is telling is after login, why are you taking to index page, take to some other page. Yeah, you change. But originally, when any application you see, when the home page opens, you have a login button. You click on the login and login. You'll be on the same page. You will not go to some page. Okay. Okay. That's leave it. You change if you want. And here I want all the authentications now, but not applied. Correct? So next class I'll show you how to apply the authentication. Yes, guys, I said I'll take your session tomorrow, but unfortunately I was not. I was busy. I have some other works. Not only other works here. I need the continuation of the same project. So tomorrow class will not be open. I don't have access to this particular project at my home, so I cannot. So we'll meet on Monday only. And Monday I'll show you how to validate this particular thing. When you click on the customer, how the login comes into action and all. We require to apply now authorization. The authorization policy should be enabled now. Authentication is clear. So still not over here. Still a lot of options I'll show you. Okay. In this. Well, let's stop here. We'll continue Monday. Vishal, why always this one? Why don't you Google? Why don't you Google? Are we taking a session for adding customer middleware? Why adding customer middleware? Customer middleware, we don't have anything. Directly click on this, it will come off into action. You don't require any middleware for that. You don't require any middleware for that. Yeah, .NET Framework 4.6. Yes, we have Identity Framework there also. Identity Framework is available there also. Yeah, Vishal. Yeah, that one I said you, Sai Kumar. Without logging, we are getting off this page. We'll control this in the next session. That's what I said to you. Right now, we have done authentication. So registration page, login page, all are created. But we still did not apply the authorization. So right now, the page should not open. Because the user did not log in, the page should not open. So the page should open only when the user performs a login. We'll do that in the next session. How to do that? You can apply this on framework application also, but just Google it. Maybe different classes are used there. Maybe not the same class names, different class names. I'm showing you with code. No, we are not. We're not going to do that. Fan launch